Aldo's first day in the Borneo jungle was filled with euphoria. The rare black orchid he discovered beneath a towering ulan tree made him forget that the map and GPS in his backpack were prone to failure. But by the third day, nature bared its fangs. While trying to collect a mushroom sample near a swamp, the ground beneath him gave way, sucking his body down to the waist. The mud was cold, terrifying, like invisible hands clutching him. With great effort, he crawled out, but his compass had already sunk into the black mire. That night, rain fell as if trying to erase his presence from the face of the earth. Help! He cried out on the fourth day, his voice hoarse, drowned by the chorus of nighttime crickets. His food supply was gone, and his bottled water contaminated with mud. He chewed on young leaves he believed were non-toxic, but his stomach rebelled, forcing him to vomit among the roots that snaked like serpents. A python as thick as his thigh slithered past his ramshackle bivouac, its eyes glowing in the fading beam of his flashlight. Aldo bit his lip until it bled to keep from screaming. By the fifth day, hallucinations had begun. The image of his late father, once a researcher like him, whispered from behind rustling leaves, "You think you can conquer this jungle, son?" At the river where he sought water, a saltwater crocodile suddenly emerged, its jaws snapping just inches from his feet. Aldo bolted, heart pounding so hard he thought it might burst. That night, he wept while clutching his dull machete, the only companion he had left. On the seventh day, his body was little more than a shell. His left leg was swollen and riddled with leech wounds, and fever made him shiver under the scorching sun. Just as he was about to give up, he heard a strange rumble, a helicopter. His blood surged. With the last of his strength, he crawled to a natural clearing and waved his torn, tattered shirt at the sky. But dark clouds rolled in. A storm broke. The helicopter veered away, its sound swallowed by the wind. "No," he roared, fists slamming into the earth. The rain poured harder, washing away his hope. But nature, it seemed, had a flair for drama. Amid the storm, the beam of a flashlight suddenly lit up his face. Human voices. A search and rescue team, forced to make an emergency landing 2 kilometers away, had followed the trail of red cloth snagged on a rattan thorn. They shouted his name again and again. Aldo, half conscious, screamed back with a voice more like an animal's howl than a man's. When they finally found him, Aldo looked like the living dead. His skin was covered in sores, his lips cracked and bleeding, but his hand still clutched a plastic bag containing the black orchid sample. "Sorry for the trouble," he whispered before passing out. 2 days later, in the hospital, a SAR team member whispered a miracle. Aldo's wandering footsteps had formed a perfect circle around the location of the rare orchid, a spot that had always been a blind spot on research maps. A year later, Aldo returned to the jungle, this time with a full team and a changed heart. Near the ulan tree where he nearly died, he hung an emergency whistle necklace on a branch. "You win," he whispered to the forest, "but I've learned." The wind rustled through the leaves as if replying, "Our struggle is not to defeat, but to understand."